I want to say this right now and get this out of the way. If you're not someone who plays video games often, don't worry about watching this video. But if you have a game that you really enjoy and just keep playing over and over again, watch this video because I'm about to get real deep into this. So, I recently just thought about this. All your other playthroughs are worse than the previous one. For example, my first playthrough of Splatoon 2's Octo expansion, the game I just played again, it doesn't feel the same. Because that first playthrough, you're figuring out how everything works. And you're getting used to everything. You know, you're learning and you're playing the plot for the first time and you get a rush from it if you start enjoying the game. And I just recently beat the boss of Splatoon 3 for the third time. Just now. And I listened to the credits music in the background. Enjoy your first playthrough. Take your time with it. Because you never know. You're gonna, like... Your other playthroughs will never be the same as your first one. Because that first playthrough is what gets you into the game the most. Take your time with it. You know, explore everything you can in one playthrough. Because those discoveries, they don't feel right on the second playthrough if you've discovered for the first time. If there's a game that not all levels are required, play them all anyways. Because again, you discover this level and you don't play it on your first playthrough and then you get to it on your second one, it doesn't feel right. It makes you feel ridiculous. At least that's my case. So... I'm saying, like, before you start your second playthrough, explore everything. Even after you beat the final boss, explore everything. Because it'll make you feel powerful and strong after that first play. After, like, you discover everything for the first time on the first, like, I don't know how to say this. Like, it'll make you feel better the first time you discover it on the first time playing through everything. Because then you get to your second playthrough before you complete everything from the first one. It's not the same as if you discover it on your first playthrough. Another thing I want, another game, The Last of Us. One of the most difficult games 100%. Because there are some rooms with dangerous infected that some people aren't willing to go in. You discover this room and I know, like, I'm taking a lot of this in because I just thought about this. you discover this room on your first playthrough and you're like, oh my god, this is so scary. You know, it's like, it's a rush. But if you do it on your second playthrough, it doesn't feel the same. Look for everything. Every single thing. I know this is a very, like, heartfelt video over something very minor like gaming, but Splatoon is one of my favorite franchises, and so is Pokemon. As you can see in my banner, if you go look at it right now, or maybe don't keep the video playing, your choice. But if you go look at the banner and then come back, that's fine. Or if you're just not interested in watching this, then that's fine too. Those two franchises are my favorite. And living through them, it feels good. I'm saying it right now, it feels empowering as a first playthrough. Because you don't know what to expect, you don't know any twists, you don't know any turns, you don't know off-the-wall flippy tricks or anything. But then, on your second playthrough, you know everything that's gonna happen, and it's not as good. Another good example from this is Back 4 Blood. It had a lot of bosses in it, there was zombies everywhere. And it's one of those, like, RNG based games, like, certain events will happen, but you don't know what will happen. It's different every time. And you experience this hardship and difficulty, and then it gets easier every time you play it, because you know what to expect, you know how to do everything, you know where everything is. I would know, because I played multiple games multiple times over, and it's never the same as your first playthrough. I have enjoyed playing these games, but the very, like, sad realization that those playthroughs will never be the same as your first one, because you don't get that feeling of experiencing it the first time. It sucks. I know it seems like a lot to be emotional for no reason, but everyone has their own ways of and their own reasons of being this way. 'Cause I'm very passionate about gaming. You can see from my thumbnail on my second ever long form content video. Talking about, like, it shows just, like, almost an hour worth of just raw footage of me playing Splatoon 3, Grizzco, Salmon Run, and Turf 4. And again, it comes back to this playthrough is never gonna be the same. Like, your first time experiencing all this, you know what you're, unless it's features brought back, or maybe it's new things that you can try to implement into your gameplay. Nothing will ever be the same as it was. My first time playing Grizzco Salmon Run was in Splatoon 2's main game. And boy, I had a heck of a time. It's essentially, it's like zombies in Call of Duty. You rush and you don't know what you have to do. But instead of just clearing a certain amount of zombies to complete the round, you have to meet a certain quota within a certain time period of golden eggs. For example, you have to get, and this is all within 100 seconds, you have to get 20 eggs in 100 seconds. So that seems like a difficult challenge, right? But it's not. And once you get, because you're getting the hang of this from the start, you're learning these features for the first time. I'm getting very repetitive about this, I know, but I don't have a script for this. This is just me talking. Because again, it's that first playthrough that's always your best one, and it's the last playthrough you do that's the worst playthrough. Because sometimes you'll feel really stupid for not figuring this out, for not figuring certain things out your first time. Like, I know there's like certain side quests in GTA that have multiple storylines onto it. I never figured those out until I saw my dad play it. And I felt stupid because of it. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Sorry, I saw that peeking into the frame. I was like, oh my god, what is that? And then I saw like there's Bindi. But like I was saying, I felt stupid not figuring things out and doing all the things in my first playthrough of Grand Theft Auto. And it sucks. That's why I'm saying, like, figure everything out on the first playthrough. 100% the game on your first playthrough. Because you'll never know how you'll feel discovering it on later playthroughs. Every single Splatoon game I've ever played, all 3 of them, including the Octo expansion. Can't wait for Side Order, by the way. Video on that tomorrow, hopefully. I have always adored it. It's like, it's your franchise, you know? It feels like it's your thing. And no one can take that away from you. But when you don't experience everything for the first time, on the first time you're actually playing the game, you feel a bit ridiculous for it. You might have a few laughs, you might take it seriously. I'm someone that would take it seriously. So, I'm gonna cut the video off here, but what I'm trying to get you guys to think about is, if you're ever doing a first playthrough, do everything on the first playthrough. Because you'll never know how you feel on later ones. And it'll never be the same again. I'm sorry for ranting like this, but I had to say something because this was just on my mind.